This episode of the Gold Blooded Podcast is brought to you by mybookie.ag. That's mybookie.ag. mybookie.ag. Join now and MyBookie will double your first deposit with promo code GOLDBLOODED. One word. GOLDBLOODED.
See a pickup sometime on the right side, possibly.
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. It's a madhouse at Candlestick.
Think we're done? We're just getting started.
Young almost falls down. Throws to the end zone.
It will change, and I'm not trying to tell you something. It's going to change. It's not like that. Okay, but I want you to understand where I'm coming from. It will change. And it will change because they wanted to change, not because of me. It will change because they want to be champions.
Smith in a gun with Gore on his left hip. Third down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking, got it, post, and it's good! Touchdown, 40. Vernon Davis with the play of his life.
It all comes to this fourth down. 4th and 4 at the San Francisco 10. Ryan in a shotgun. Rodgers to his left. 3 receivers right. Ryan takes the snap. Looking, pressure, throws middle, broken up, biting, Navarro Bowman, and the 49ers silence the house.
Hey everybody, it's the bi-week special Gold Blooded Podcast Edition. So, we're here a couple days after the weekend of week 4 NFL. The San Francisco football 49ers had a bye. Some very interesting bullshit went down. I don't know if Stevie Boy, Cockadoodle-Doo Boy is going to touch base on it, but Niners are in sole possession of that motherfucking spot in the NFC West. What are you giggling about?
No, the NFC, period.
Well, you laughing at the NFC?
No.
No, we're in first place in the NFC. There's no other undefeated team in the NFC.
Yeah.
But you called him Cockadoodle-Doo Boy.
Yeah, that might be why.
Nobody has any idea what that means.
Yeah.
Just some shit, man. Just popping off. Just having fun. Staying loose.
Right,
I
but
like
you
it.
have to understand that it might be confusing to someone.
That's my-
to be called Cockadoodle-Doo Boy.
Listen.
It's easy for the guy that's, I don't know what you did before you came here to say, stay loose. And
Listen,
I-
that's
PEDs.
listen. That's right. PDD. Listen, that's like my hey, look, it's John Candy moment.
Uh-huh.
All right. If I was Montana, I'm keeping the ship loose.
Cockadoodle-doo boy. I like it. Big doings. You ready for the news?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we promoted strong safety, Marcel Harris from the practice squad, and
Must be slow tattoo season. He's able to take time away from the needle
do we?
to come in and play safety.
All right, Joe. Do you want to shed some light on this?
I got
Because,
the
I
wool
mean-
pulled over my eyes worse than anybody. I'm the last person that should be shedding anything on this situation. Okay, here's what I know.
I stayed out of that long enough for it to work itself out.
Okay. How did it happen? Fill me in, because I forget.
Marcel Harris had an Instagram account that you thought it was?
No. So there's another Marcel Harris who's a tattooer, correct, Rob?
I believe so.
I'm sure there's quite a few Marcel
But didn't
Harrises.
someone reach out to us and say, "Hey, did you see that Marcel Harris is a tattooer?"
No, you reached out to us and said that.
Oh, I know why. I know why.
That was the other Joe.
No, I know why. One of the 49er team photographers who I follow tagged the wrong Marcel Harris. She tagged the tattooer. So this gal is reliable. She's been with the team for like as long as I've had Instagram, you know what I mean? So my bad, I should have did a little bit of research into it. And then I came to these boys in the group chat, and I was like, oh my God, look, Marcel Harris is a shitty tattooer. And
He's not.
he's not.
Nope. So,
Marcel Harris is a tattooer.
yes.
A different Marcel.
A different kind of tattooer.
Yeah, worse.
No, different Marcel.
Yeah, no, there is a Marcel
Well, no.
Harris.
The strong safety Marcel Harris has tattooed a few guys in 2018.
Oh, good.
That
one,
was last
Steve.
year.
That was a witty one, Steven.
In a corresponding move, we released defensive back Anton Exum Jr. Been with the team for quite some time. So
Okay, I'm curious about something that we're going to talk about. Keep going, Papa.
going on Marcel Harris, if you remember his play from last year, he actually played quite well in the 4 or 5 starts that he got down the stretch. He played a key role in taking down Seattle, the game that we faced them in last year and won. And I don't remember the other game where he had a key role in, but definitely a player that was flashed more than his 5th round draft stock would have suggested. So I mean, he definitely is a guy that I'd like to keep an eye on. I was surprised that we waived him to the practice squad after the training camp, but I'm happy we got him back.
Okay.
And then we signed offensive lineman Jared Jones-Smith and cornerback Tease Tabor to the practice squad.
Okay. Can I stop you here?
Yes, you can.
Can we talk about Tease DeBoer?
Go for it.
Do you know anything about him?
Former second-round pick by the
Second-round
Detroit
pick
Lions.
By the Detroit Lions.
He
Well,
was absolutely atrocious.
Okay, well, we know, first of all, the Detroit Lions are ran by a bunch of imbeciles, correct?
Yeah, I
That's-
think I could agree with that.
Okay, so we don't know. He's probably not really a second-round pick. He's probably closer to a 3rd or a 4th. Would we maybe agree with that statement?
To be honest, I couldn't tell you. I don't remember his name.
So I saw a little bit about him recently, like just the other, like within this happening, and they say the ceiling is super high on this guy, and he had like some really like stellar college play, was my understanding, and he's a cornerback, correct?
Yes.
They said that he was maybe the 3rd best corner that year he came out.
Well, second rounder. I mean, yeah, he might have been the 3rd cornerback taken in the whole entire draft.
Yeah.
So what I heard was he played good corner in college on a really good defense. And ran a really slow 40 at the combine.
Ooh.
And dropped because of that.
Ah.
And then the Lions picked him up. Mm-hmm. Then his pro day, he ran an even slower 40.
Yikes.
The Lions picked him up, and he hasn't shown anything since.
All right.
So there could be something there. Maybe he doesn't do well under, the guides of running a 40 with a 3-point stance or however they do that. Maybe that. But he ran they said a 4.6 or 4.7. And for a cornerback, they say that's unemployed numbers.
Also, we do have ties to that former Detroit coaching staff with defensive line coach Chris Kosurik. Now, he's not a defensive backs coach, but he was in all of those team meetings when I'm sure his name would come up in the coaches' meeting. So he's not unfamiliar to him as well. So we'll see.
Okay, well that should be
It's definitely a
exciting.
flyer.
Oh, sure.
Like, we didn't sign him to the team.
No.
Nobody was vying for him. He
Right.
didn't have a job.
Agreed.
It's throw some shit against the wall. Maybe one of them will stick.
Yeah,
Maybe it'll work out better than
I don't
Verrett.
know. I think like that's a guy for me. Maybe because I like getting in on the ground level first of all with players, and I feel like if he ever makes the team, he might be my guy. I'm gonna go get his jersey.
Oh, speaking of jerseys, big happenings in the Oros household. 2 new jerseys
Ooh.
have entered this household in the last week.
For
Two.
who? For who?
For not me.
Well,
Got the little guy a Kittle, and I got baby a Garoppolo.
wait, you're having another child?
No, you know how you refer to Jess as baby?
You've adopted.
No,
You've become daddy and baby.
no. I was just seeing how that would go over.
Not well. So you got
Terrible.
You got a little Kittle.
Yeah, little Kittle,
and then you got
a woman's
you got
Garoppolo
Jimmy
jersey.
G spot for the lady.
Yeah,
You got Boogie. Yeah. So you got her ladies?
yeah,
Did you get it stitched or not?
none.
Okay. Yeah. See, Jessica, obviously your wife is a little more top heavy than my lady friend. So,
Large brain. Is that what you mean?
yeah, correct.
Your lady friend.
Yeah, so I think the ladies ones probably work better for her. I think Jessica likes the children ones for her better. She got that little...
Did she request or did you?
She requested one, and it was up to me to
alright.
divvy up who was getting one.
Who'd you get?
Awesome.
Who'd you get for her? Vernon Davis?
What?
Who'd you get for her?
For her, she got Jimmy.
Jimmy G
Oh,
spot.
Jimmy G.
Lady's favorite.
I got my baby still rocks her gore. She just loves the gore. She won't give it up. But I have a Steve Young for her, and that's stitched, I believe.
Yeah, but it's probably super baggy because it's a throwback.
No.
No?
It's a women's.
So does she want? She requested for both or just for herself?
She kind of hinted, yeah, I want one.
Is this for a photo op or is this to root for the team?
No, just to root for the team. She wore it Sunday, even though that they didn't play. And she was like, I don't care. I want to wear it. I'm like, hey, more power to you.
Wedding invitations?
Huh?
Wedding invitations?
What about them?
Pictures of you guys wearing the Niners?
No.
Does she work on Sundays?
Sometimes.
So the jersey at work is probably a good thing.
Yeah, she definitely wanted one for
it
that.
It makes more sense for that. Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, this
Could be worse. She could be wearing a Giants jersey.
Absolutely.
Jessica's been genuinely involved watching the team this year, probably because they're not in the fucking shitter. And I can't blame her, you know. I mean, it's hard for chicks to stay involved when the team is fucking 3-13, but it's
That was
pretty sexist
probably a very
statement.
sexist statement.
Yeah.
okay. My wife. Then.
I'm sure Sarah DeJulio takes offense to that.
Okay,
Chicks.
I'm sorry.
What year is this?
Okay, let me rephrase that.
It's probably hard for beaners to watch too, right? Because they're off working, cleaning dishes, Joe, cleaning hotel rooms.
No, they're just shitty fucking out in Arizona. They don't know what the fuck they're shitty Cowboy fans.
Oh
in
my
Arizona.
God, Arizona Joe's trip to Arizona. I want to hear that story
They
again.
don't know what they're doing
At some point, maybe in this episode.
It's hard for chicks to stay
Okay,
engaged
I'm
when
sorry.
they're losing.
It's hard for my wife to stay engaged.
How about Fairweather fans?
Sure, fair weather fan, but I don't want to call my wife even a fair weather fan. She's not. That gives gives her too much credit.
Yeah, she's even less than that.
Yeah. But it's nice to have her interested again, because no one wants to come over and watch the game with me. So it's nice that I could
Can't
have her.
imagine why.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
You're so easy to watch games with.
I'm not anything.
I will say this. I have watched a few games with Joe, and he has been very tame throughout
Right, I'm not.
just about every
I'm
single
not the
one of
Are
them.
we
person-
winning?
Was there playoff contention?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
And I'm also not the person that he's alluding to anymore.
No, that's not even what I'm talking about. I can't even be in a text message with you when they play.
Again,
I got to put my phone away. I can't even be in a text message.
I'm so much better than I was even last year. Every year I improve.
It's like first quarter and like one turnover. Oh, here we go. I can't. I'm out. It's 6-0 after going into the second quarter. It's nothing to really burn our hair about yet. Joe, step back from the ledge.
Pick on Joe on the bye week.
All right, let's run through this. We released offensive lineman Will Holden and offensive lineman Ryan Pope from the practice squad. Jimmy Ward finger, no news yet.
I don't know what we're gonna do without those two offensive linemen.
Me neither. Jimmy Ward is still hoping to play by Monday. Jalen Hurd, no news yet, and he is hoping to play by Monday. And Tevin Coleman, high ankle sprain, no news yet. He is hoping to play on Monday, and we have not gotten an update on Riri, the cat, eye injury.
He's still on the
That could have
day-to-day
been
chart.
so much more quiet.
5-week special. Motherfuckers don't care. Riri the cat, he's still day-to-day. Tomorrow, the mobile vet comes to the house, so we're going to have some answers. Maybe I'll get Curran an updated deal, and we'll get it posted to the Instagram for those of you scoring at home.
Did you just say the mobile vet?
Yeah. Why?
You have a vet that comes to your home?
Well, we have to. He don't travel.
The cat doesn't travel?
Oh, not well.
I think the cat does whatever you tell the fucking cat to do. Hey,
When we moved from Black Rock to where we live now, when I picked the cat up, he knew it was time to go. He just shit everywhere. Like, he just shit himself. So the cat don't travel, dog. So the vet got to come to us.
what if you waited until the cat went and took a shit in the kitty litter box and you're like, I got you now, motherfucker.
I think
Time to go now.
I think the cat shitting is just one example.
Yep.
I think he means the cat is traumatic.
Yeah, it's extremely traumatic for the cat to travel. Extremely. And I'm not trying to be a cunt, but it's a nightmare too. It's a complete, like, to get him in a travel case.
Joe, from one parent to another, I totally understand where you're coming from.
You don't know nothing about it.
Sometimes things are just a nightmare, and you
All
just
right. Go down your
nothing you can do about
play
it.
your list here.
The list is done. Riri was the last update.
We have no update on everybody that they're hoping to have back this week because practice doesn't start this week till tomorrow.
Yeah, we don't have any pressers
So-
or
So,
any news yet.
Was it my understanding that they practiced 2 days this week and then they got time off?
I believe they practiced 2 days last week, and they're going to practice 2 days this week, as opposed to in the past, they would not have had 2 practices last week.
Monday was the bonus practice. They practiced Monday this week too.
Right. Giddy up. Well, that's sexy.
So, moving on to whatever the hell you want to move on to. We could do emails. We could check back on some of the predictions we made. I have some general team talking points we could go over. Talk about the upcoming game against the Browns. You could tell a
We should
story.
do that second episode.
Okay.
The Browns next episode because we got to do our predictions for the Browns.
Your Arizona comment may possibly inspired me to take a trip down memory lane to the time that you had to watch a 49ers game in a Arizona bar.
But it was a 49ers bar, Steve.
Yes, but there were opposing fans there.
Well, there was a Cowboys fan, and apparently she was a Mexican with some clout. Like she might have been like a cartel Mexican or something. I don't know.
Just chicks
I
following
don't know,
football.
but the only reason I say that is because everybody else, nobody else in there would tell her to fuck off, but me. I don't know. She was fucking disrespectful, Steve. It'd be like
I believe you.
It'd be like if Chris was down there barking about the Jets or some shit, and like we just sat there and let him ruin our podcast. Like there's a bar full of Niner fans, and nobody's gonna tell this fucking cunt to fuck off. Ugh. It was nice.
You bring up a very good point.
What's that?
I admire the balls that you have.
I don't have no balls. It was a woman. I just had to tell her to fucking pipe it down.
There's a lot of things you don't have. There's a lot of things you could be lacking in. Balls is definitely not one of them. And I would say to a fault even, but balls is definitely not a category you're lacking in.
Or filter.
You have no problem saying whatever to whoever, whenever.
Only when the time is right.
No, that's what I'm saying. Not just only when
I'm
the
not,
time's
but
right.
that's the other thing about me. I'm not really the person I used to be. I'm a fucking old fucking cunt now. I'm a fucking twat, a raging twat.
I didn't say you weren't a twat or a cunt.
Yeah, but I am. I am saying I should just get, if I wasn't such a twat, I would do this, but I should just get raging twat tattooed right across my chest, because that's how I feel.
Raging twat.
So that's how I feel like I've become a raging fucking twat.
Well, if you weren't a raging twat, you'd get it somewhere more visible, like on your forehead.
Yeah,
or
or my knuckles. If I had enough knuckles for raging
We could just get twat.
Rage twat. You could do
Twat
rage
rage?
twat. Yeah, twat rage.
No, huge twat.
I'll go in tomorrow and
That
do it.
is a fucking fin. You
We
don't
can-
have your
we can
knuckles
go
done.
straight
Oh,
from
you
here.
do. You have one on your knuckle, but you could do your lowers.
Well, we could do something. Oh no, because that would be twat TWA. Well, no, it's an apple.
for apple.
A for
Yes.
apple. It works. It fucking works.
That is fucking fantastic.
Let's go straight from here.
You would too, just for that.
Huge twat across my knuckles.
Have you ever like gone to the tattoo shop to do a tattoo because you're like, I have to do this tattoo? No.
I could tell a side note on this. The guy that taught Rob how to tattoo and also tattooed me heavily in the beginning was this old biker. We'll call him John Tippy. And
John Tippy.
do we want to use his real name?
No.
I don't want to give him the credit, so
Probably not.
it's fucking John Tippy. So, John Tippy was a real fucking piece of work. He was a fucking biker trash bag fucking... I don't even know how to explain John Tippy. But interesting guy. So I had a friend who we've talked about that lived with us when we were in high school who was a piece of shit thief and was just a fucking lowlife. Well, this fucking lowlife was would get fucked up in high school and would take a knife or a razor blade and would carve things into himself.
Tippy?
No, a guy I went to high school with would carve things into himself.
Okay.
Like he'd get drunk and he'd like take a razor blade and carve like fuck the world or some shit.
I think they call that psychotic.
Right. So John Tippy saw this years later. John Tippy saw this when we started getting tattooed there. And Tippy gave this guy like his card and was like, if you're ever going to do that dumb shit, kid, you call me any hour of the night. I'll meet you down here and tattoo you. Because that's fucking horseshit, you fucking weirdo. And John Tippy told him how it was. But he swore he would tattoo him at 2 a.m. if he called. He never tried to, though. Terrible story.
No, wasn't bad.
Tippy.
I've heard worse.
Tippy. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So,
Suck me.
let's talk about Kittle for a second.
Talk about Kittle.
Relatively quiet statistical season so far compared to his record-breaking receiving yardage 2018 campaign.
But he's leading the league with the GPT.
GBT?
So all the stats. Is he not leading the league?
I don't know what he's leading the league in. He's leading the league in my heart.
No, there is a stat. There's a couple stats he's leading the league in. No bullshit.
Okay.
Okay, I'll bring it up.
I could buy that.
I think you'd think I'm a fucking asshole.
No, I don't. But I am,
That's separate from George Kittle, him thinking you're an asshole.
yeah, I am just as comfortable now, if not more comfortable than I was last year in saying that he is the best tight end in the NFL. Just what he brings to the field every single week, aside from the receiving ability. He is just an absolute animal, and every single GM in the league would trade their current tight end for him right now, straight up.
For sure.
Zero questions asked.
For sure. Even ones that are close to him are not as young as him.
Right.
George Kittle has the highest PFF grade through week 4, period.
I did see that in the entire league. Which, I mean, I used to be a big PFF guy, and
You
then
did, Poppy.
I gotta say the last 4 years they've really lost me.
I don't know nothing about it.
George Kittle says he would rather Debo, a linebacker, in blocking than catch a touchdown pass.
And that's not just talk. You could
Yeah.
see it
Yeah,
every single
He would
week.
rather blow up a linebacker headed towards the quarterback than catch a touchdown pass.
I mean, up to this point, we haven't needed him to score touchdowns, so it's okay. And I think he's going to be there when we do need him. We might need him this week to score touchdowns. You know,
well, I'm also not smart enough to know what I'm looking at in the fact that maybe that's why we are scoring the touchdowns we are, is because they're worried about Kittle.
Oh, 100%. He's
know,
opening
like-
up so much in our
I
passing.
would
Yeah,
assume
so-
you're right. You know,
The
it makes
attention that's
sense.
going to
For
him.
what I know, I mean, what I do know is if I was a defense and the 49ers were coming to town, he's the top of the list of people I have to watch.
I think Shanahan's pulling the old rope-a-dope. I think that Kittle's going to explode on Monday night.
On Monday night's face.
I think Kittle is going to Kittle all over Monday night's face.
Ooh, the bits.
The bits is coming.
He's got a Kittle in bits.
I hope he's got something up his sleeve. There's a couple things that have been making news that scare me, but we'll get into that next episode.
Oh, I'm curious.
Ooh.
I'm curious.
All right.
It's very, very, very typical bullshit talk radio.
I think
but
I know.
Could we talk about
The
how
hype in Cleveland got you nervous. The Cleveland hype train.
Could we talk about how the Rams are really just average and that Seattle is more beatable this year than they have been in the past 7 years?
The West is ours, Steven.
We're number 1 place.
Yes. But ask any fan who's not a fan of the 49ers and they will still say that the Rams and the Seahawks are better teams.
Oh, for sure. Well,
Do you want to get into some of our predictions? That's a good segue.
look at
Perfect.
Look at most of the power rankings. You know, that tells you how people feel about it right there.
I see a lot of 49ers fans on the internet calling for attention, and while I understand the temptation to want to be talked
No,
about,
Shut your mouth.
you should really just
Shut it up.
let everybody find out in due time, because them talking about the 49ers isn't going to make them any better. If anything, it's going to turn them into a big bullseye.
Yeah, let them learn the fucking hard way.
Just be humble, be patient, and everybody come week 8, week 9, week 10, when the 49ers are fucking 9-0.
Here's an idea for 49er fans complaining on the internet about attention. If you want attention, go down to your local Buffalo Wild Wings and find the person who's in the Rams jersey or the Seahawks person and take that respect. Earn that respect. Wipe their fucking face on the fucking curb jaw them. You know what I
A
mean?
bit extreme. I was with you right up until then. I was with you all the way. I was with you right up until the curb jaw. Maybe just a swirly.
What's this really?
Flush
What?
in the toilet?
Oh, put their head in the toilet?
Yeah.
I'm with that.
Yeah. I think that's a little better than a curb jaw.
Yeah.
You didn't know what the word swirly meant?
I don't know. I never put nobody in the toilet. I don't know.
I never have either.
Nobody
but
puts
I know
anybody
what
in the
swirly
toilet.
is.
No. You maybe.
But I think that's a little less, of a felony.
Yeah. Less felonious.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
get sued for everything you have
All
because
right.
of
All right, at the
disfigurement.
very least, start a good old fashioned Donnybrook. Throw
Okay.
a couple.
All right.
Throw
I'm
a
still
couple
with you now.
punches. You know.
As long as we're not curb jawing anybody, I'm
No,
with you.
and then really insult him though with the process.
Yeah,
slap
let him
his
have it.
slap his girlfriend in the ass.
Maybe don't do that.
Now we're crossing the
No, cross that
Maybe-
line.
maybe don't
Fuck
do that. Let's
No,
step back a little bit.
Fuck you. Be a scumbag.
Maybe keep
Fuck.
your hands to yourself.
But the whole time, what's important is that you're screaming 49ers and then fuck whatever team jersey he's wearing.
Yeah,
The
okay.
whole time.
Just don't slap anybody in the ass in our name.
Yeah.
Remember the time that guy slapped your girlfriend at the ass at that place and I cannonballed into him?
No.
It was at the teen center of New Milford, and someone slapped Janisha on the ass, and you pointed him out. This was like Fear Tomorrow early days, and I got
That
running.
might have been pre my wife. That might have been a different girl.
It might have been, and I ran across
and
the
it might have been
mosh.
old beef.
Oh, and I just dove into the I bunched up into a cannonball and just like bowling. Took him out, Steve.
All right, you want to start with our 49ers predictions or our NFL predictions?
Whatever you feel like doing.
Well, I wrote them down as 49ers first, so we'll start with that. We'll start with bold predictions 49ers. These predictions were made before week 1.
Yes.
In
So
the week between...
about a month ago.
Yep. So Steve's bold 49ers prediction was our leading receiver will not be George Kittle. Seems possible.
Cocky.
Seems real right now.
Sure.
Joe's prediction was Matt Breida will have 1,000 yards rushing and 750 yards receiving. Also seems within
Seems
reach.
reasonable.
Sure.
Oh, we got to talk about Frank at some point, but keep going.
My bold prediction for the 49ers was that they would win the West. Feasible.
Reasonable.
Chris's prediction is that Matt Breida and Tevin Coleman will both get over 1,500 yards rushing. Both.
What are you saying?
Both Breida and Coleman will get over 1,500 yards rushing.
I think you're the only one that's out. Did Curran drop one or no?
No,
Okay.
we didn't include him. Bold predictions for the NFL. Steve says that 10 wins will win the NFC West and that the Rams will win 8 or less. Also, seems feasible. Joe says the Bears don't win the North. And also, there will be 8 massive retirements this season. And then one of them will get caught in a sex scandal. Very specific.
Well, Antonio Brown?
Maybe.
No.
He said he's not coming back, so it's kind of a
No,
retirement.
he said he wants to come back now.
Oh, now he wants to
A
come
couple
back.
Yeah, that'll
Yeah.
change tomorrow.
Yeah, so.
My NFL prediction was that the Dolphins will not win a game.
Did they-
Also feasible.
That is not updated.
Oh, it's not?
Nope.
Oh, no, he's not.
Chris's NFL prediction is that Brady will have the most interceptions in his career. And I don't know what his stats look like, but I'm sure it's feasible.
I don't think he's thrown one.
No, he has.
Yeah, he threw one
Threw
last
a
week.
pick six.
He played like dog shit.
But they may be
Last
possible.
week.
So our predictions are not all that far off.
Did you catch any of that game? I know you had the dual setup on Sunday.
I did.
Brady played like absolute hot garbage.
Yeah.
What's with the new Joe that watches football that isn't the 49ers?
Very interesting. I gotta
Well-
say so myself. With
Right,
two
when he
screens,
said that, I was
too.
like, who the fuck?
With 2 screens.
Yeah, right?
Well, one thing was that my buddy Mo comes over and we get so high that I just need something. Because, like, we almost fall asleep. We get so fucking stoned. But, that, and I don't know. I just feel like the 49ers are really going to win the Super Bowl this year, and I just want to be hyper aware of all the teams they're going to beat along
The
way.
NFL is more enjoyable when the 49ers are more enjoyable.
No,
I can see that.
I
Fair.
just want to know who we're going to beat, and then I want to.
Although when it's the other way, I definitely go like, yeah, 49ers stink. I'd rather watch good football.
Yeah, I watch more football when
Yeah,
they suck.
for
Yeah, like
sure.
this year I've only really watched their games and a little bit of other stuff.
Yeah.
Thursday or Monday.
Yes.
But on Sundays I really just watch the Niner game.
Yep.
And in the past I've watched much more football to try to wash my mind of it.
Yeah. Because you just want to
That's a
watch good
point.
football.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how Jimmy G has improved every single week thus far?
Jimmy G spot. 12 starts? Is
12 career starts.
that what it is?
I think so. And I believe his record is 9-3.
Somebody was saying the other day that like there was like some stat of how many young quarterbacks were starting a couple weeks ago. It was like some ridiculous stat. And somebody was listing off all the young quarterbacks and how many starts they have, and so many of them have like triple what he has.
Yes. He's just a baby.
Yeah.
He's just getting started.
And you know, maybe you could say like he has the benefit of sitting behind Brady all those years and you know, that's better than not having done it, obviously. You know, like if Baker Mayfield was what he is today but also got to sit behind Tom Brady for a couple of years, it couldn't hurt, but realistically, the guy is just a baby.
And also going back, I want to say a little bit over a month. Remember when the Denver Broncos made Jimmy Garoppolo look retarded for like 6 passes? But now the Niners are 3-0. Jimmy Garoppolo is starting to improve every single week, and the Broncos have the Broncos have lost 8 straight games going back to last year. So,
way to go, Vic.
Fuck the preseason. The preseason is the ultimate cunt season. The preseason is more of the cunt season than the offseason is, in my opinion.
I told you that, and you said, no, I like it. It's fun, the draft, and we get to watch the stats and figure out who's going to...
I enjoy offseason transactions.
Listen.
Not the preseason.
Isn't it weird that Jimmy G, Earthworm Jim, the man with the iron cock, he's got 2 Super Bowl rings. Isn't that crazy?
2? I thought it was only 1.
Dose is what it tells me here.
As a fan of football, I like the preseason because I think it's a way to let me ramp up into the season the same way the players get to. Like, I don't watch rarely any of week 1 preseason. I'll just catch a little bit just because it's somebody wearing a 49ers uniform.
My gripe is that it's 4 weeks long.
And then week 2, I get a little bit. I might get a starter. I might get Jimmy G. Week 3, I get a quarter. And then week 4 is the real biggest bum out. Because it's like, now it's like a bye week. It's like, ugh, get the season going.
I just can't do 4 weeks
Jimmy
of
G is 11-2.
11-2 as a starter.
9-2, obviously, for the Niners.
And honestly, couldn't be more under the radar at the moment.
Yeah, and his dick is bigger than my face.
It's almost like that loss last year. He lost to the Vikings. He almost lost to Detroit. And then he lost to Kansas City. Everybody just hopped off the Garoppolo bandwagon so fucking quick.
It's the same thing. I've said it before, and you've heard it 1,000 times. The only reason that anyone has anything negative to say about him is because he signed a contract for a lot of money.
Yes.
That's
Agreed.
the only reason.
Because I have another point to make.
Any other quarterback at 13 starts, nobody's saying any of the stuff that they say about Jimmy G. It's solely based on the fact that he signed a contract and gets paid a certain amount of money. That's it.
Here's a prime example. Last year, at this point, or at a certain point, Patrick Mahomes was 11-2 as a starter. And everybody said that he was this is the greatest MVP. He was the MVP after 16 starts. He was the MVP. You know what I mean? So Jimmy G is going to go, God knows what in his first 16 games. You know what I mean? And they're going to talk shit because he signed a deal before.
All that matters to it.
That's horseshit.
It's the only thing changing the narrative on him. And it means nothing.
It's horseshit, Steven, and it makes me want to hug you.
You know what's amazing about the contract is that he signed?
Did they walk away? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, that is nice.
I told that to a sports guy I was talking to on the job today, and he was like, really? Yeah, man, the Niners could pretty much walk away, at a certain point with relative ease. And they're not locked into this thing by any means. So
he's also made most of his money already last year. It was extremely front-loaded.
Yeah.
That's how you get him to sign a deal that you can get out of, and that's how you get out of deals, and that's how you don't get into cap trouble, and that's how...
And then you'll be able to get him to if let's say he plays great, then you can renegotiate with him down the road.
Well, you hope that he learned from Brady, who takes bonuses and lower yearly, and they keep a good team behind him.
The other thing is it's tricky for him is the tax deal in California, So I know that's an issue.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the college sports deal out in California?
I like it.
Yeah, I love it.
I don't see anything wrong with it whatsoever.
Fuck the NCAA.
I agree.
Fuck
they make money hand over fist.
Fuck the man, especially the white one.
Why don't we talk about what's going on here
All right,
on
where?
the big screen?
All right, what's this? Oh, yeah, let's talk about this.
So, this past weekend, our beloved Frank Gore.
Frank F. motherfucking Jeezy. F. Jeezy fo Sheezy. What is it? The
Inconvenient Truth.
I was going to say the unconventional truth. He's fucking good still. 100 yards.
Took it to the New England defense, which is a very good defensive unit.
The
And
oldest player ever to rush for over 100 yards in an NFL game.
that is fucking amazing.
Yes, it is.
Joined 15,000 club and
Fourth
is
player.
200 and my math is correct. 57,
48.
48, 248 yards away from catching Barry Sanders.
Was I wrong?
No, you were right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Every single time he starts getting close to a player, I go, well, can he catch the next guy? Because he doesn't seem to be slowing down whatsoever. He just had his best game of the season.
Peter King, I believe I read this week, said that he has a reasonable chance to catch Walter Payton. And I was like, I don't know that I would call his chance reasonable, but I mean, whatever. Who am I to take anything away from Frank Gore?
I wouldn't call it reasonable. I would say Barry Sanders is toast.
Yes.
100%. And I would say he has a shot at catching Peyton. He's going to have to play at least one more year.
2. I would say 2.
No.
I mean, let's just say best case scenario, he gets to, 15.6 this year?
He needs 1,600 yards. 1,700 yards to catch Peyton.
He needs to get within at least 900. Because I don't know if he's got 1,000 yards in him next year.
I'm just saying he needs 1,700 total,
Yeah.
right? And he's played how many games this year? 4?
4.
So he's got 12 games left this year and 16 next year. That's 18 games to get 1,700 yards. It's a stretch.
Well, he's got 11 left this year.
It's a stretch. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a stretch. That's why I said it's possible. I wouldn't say a reasonable.
I think that he's just going to keep going and going and going until it gets to the point where he's no longer getting more than 50 yards a game.
Do you know what his career yards per carry is? I found that I was pretty intrigued or impressed by this.
I'll go ahead and say 4.2.
Baba?
5-1.
No, 4-4. I was impressed. I think that's pretty good. It's very respectable.
Yeah, for a
guy.
career that has never had breakaway speed, that's really good.
Somebody was saying the other day, how many guys have been brought to a team that Frank Gore was the running back of, and everybody said, oh, this is the guy that's going to take that job. How many different times, and it never has once happened.
Nope.
It's pretty impressive.
I mean, Carlos Hyde did take his job unrightfully.
Right.
You know,
right.
like people have tried
Yeah.
to replace Frank, and you haven't.
He's the man.
He is the fucking
Remember when
man.
people were like 2 years ago, people were still questioning if he was a Hall of Famer?
Love it.
Who's the first one on that list that's not a Hall of Famer?
I still want to. The first one on the list that's not a Hall of Famer is.
They all are, right?
Well, yeah.
Well, Adrian Peterson's obviously still playing.
Yeah, but
He will be.
First ballot.
My personal opinion, Jerome Bettis should not have made the Hall of Fame. That was my opinion, but whatever.
I could buy that. I mean, he's, I would say, the least impressive running back in the top 10.
Okay.
I don't think there's no arguing that. Jerome Bettis.
is everyone on that list in or guaranteed in?
Um,
Like Peterson's obviously in.
Peter's in. Dickerson's in. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Dorsett's in. Jim Brown is obviously fucking in. Marshall Faulk's in. I don't think Edgerrin James is in.
Oh, just another Frank Gore note. Also has 3,800 yards receiving.
Yeah. Eventually, what they're going to have to do, I'm going to go ahead and say like 20 years from now, is they're going to have to start looking at all-purpose yardage because you have these running backs now, Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey,
Yeah,
that are
they're
getting
way
all these
better
receiving
than-
yards. So, you know, in the future, they're going to have to start looking at
Realistically, you
all-purpose.
should anyways.
I agree.
It should all count as a yard.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a football player and you got that yard, so.
Yeah. Yards from scrimmage, all-purpose yards, however you say
And not only that,
I
but
agree.
a ton of receiving yards are the ball's caught behind the line of scrimmage anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like,
All right, Joe. You want to do an email?
All right, hold on.
We got lots of them. We got some carryovers from last week.
Tell the people where.
You could email us, goldbloodedpodcast@gmail.com, if you would like to donate your hard-earned money into our hard-earned pockets. You could donate at patreon.com/goldbloodedpodcast. And don't forget to... Oh, we didn't do our thingy yet. Are you the kind of guy that likes to bet a little and win a lot?
Oh, I am.
Then do the smart thing and go to mybookie.ag.
Okay.
At the end of a hard week, it's great to sit down, take some time off, and watch some football.
It is. It is.
Game-winning touchdowns on 2-minute drives.
Touchdown.
Running backs racing down the sidelines with no one to stop them.
Where are we?
There's nothing else like
we
the NFL.
What we did this time, we did something very different, Joe. We started reading at the top. From the top, like first line, that's where I started.
I got
And then
you.
when I finished that line, then Steve went down a
Go
line.
to the next one.
Yeah, it's really, I don't know. We just wanted to mix it up a little bit.
Once we get to the core talking points, you got to let the people know we're there.
There's nothing else like the NFL. And there's no better way to make the games even more exciting
Bold underlined.
than to bet on them.
So, do the smart thing
Smart thing.
and go to mybookie.ag.
Gee.
No one gives you more ways to win than they do. MyBookie's got the fastest payouts and better lines than any other sports book.
Better lines. That's
Better
got to get
lines.
you happy, Joe.
Yeah.
You're going to see. I'm going to do some lines here in a minute.
Don't forget where you're betting is just as important as who you're betting on.
That's right, it is.
And MyBookie, I love that they spell out DOT.
That's right, they
.ag is the best in the business. It's where I
DOT.
play and where you should too.
What happened?
I wouldn't be telling you guys to bet with them if they weren't the best.
Oh, core
Wait.
talking points.
Yeah, okay. As long as we got that out of the way. Do the smart thing. If you're going to bet this football season, bet with MyBookie.
Listen.
So their actual read says gonna. That's great.
If you're the kind of guy that likes to bet a little and win a lot, you
Well,
try a parlay.
Can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Who's not that kind of guy?
I
think every guy is
I
that
prefer
kinda
to
guy.
bet a lot and win a little, okay?
Yeah.
Let's back it off a little bit here.
But do you know about a parlay? Babo?
Is that with the whipped cream and the
That's a parfait.
all right.
Let me tell you.
me about a parlay.
Let me tell you about a parlay.
What's a parlay?
If all your picks come through, you'll multiply your winnings. And no matter how you bet, the NFL season is the best time of
That didn't
year.
clarify what a parlay is.
No, I don't know. I'm not any clearer.
Join
on it.
now, and MyBookie will double your first deposit.
Times 2?
That's why I said it twice. But you got to use promo code
Gold Blood!
to activate the offer. That's promo code.
Gold Blood!
Visit mybookie.ag today.
Just in case your speakers blew out, it's gold blood. One word.
You play.
You win.
You get paid.
I believe a parlay is you bet multiple games.
You bet 3. Or maybe
It can be as many as you want.
True
You
that.
can go up to 10, I think,
True
probably.
that,
Or 100
Papa.
if you want.
Yeah.
And the more games in the parlay, the more you win if you get them right. But they all have to be right. Like
Yes.
if one of them's wrong, you're toast.
You're fucked.
Yes.
And that's why you win more.
Correct.
Yes.
That's why you bet a little and win a lot.
Parlays are so hard to hit. Like, they sound a lot easier than they really are.
And then they also...
Well, considering I'm winning my football pick'em pool, it'd probably be easier for me, Steve.
The other thing is, Robert, whatever you'd like to be addressed as.
I mean, we are new to talking to each other, so I understand you not knowing what to address me as. It's not like you were the best man at my wedding. I understand you not knowing what to call me.
I'm a fucking scumbag. You should shoot me. I forgot what I was going to say.
Wow.
What
Jimmy
was-
B.
What was I saying?
Parlay.
Parlay. I'm sorry.
Stop interrupting him. He's going to lose it again.
I'm going to lose my mind. A parlay. You also could get points. You could
Yeah,
you
it
could
makes the
swing a
spread,
line.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how. That's when things get really wacky.
Well, you
if
can either
ask me.
win more or move the line.
Oh.
I believe they call that a round robin.
I don't think that's what they call it.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, I think you're full of horse shit with a round robin.
But basically, you can either bet the 2 games and win more because you bet the 2 games, or take some extra points on one of them.
Gotcha.
That's the idea.
All right. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to check some emails. Steve was supposed to tell you people where you can email us.
I already did it.
Did he?
Yep.
Damn.
Backsplash.
What'd you call me earlier? Cockamamie cockboy or something?
No, but that's way better. That I would have understood. That makes sense. Cock-a-doodle-doo boy does not make sense.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
You guys just, your imagination's limited. All right. So we're going to do some emails, and we're checking in with Jimmy Brighton.
Our imaginations are limited by a lack of substance
Our
abuse.
friend from where?
He's from over the pond in England.
Okay.
He's a bloke.
Over the pond.
That's what I wanted.
Hello, boys. That was my accent. He says, hello to all of you from Blighty.
That's not what it
Or
says.
you could just
but
make up
okay.
whatever it says. It's not even dyslexia. It's definitely imagination. You're right. You're right, Joe. Our imaginations are limited. We're stuck to these constructs of words on
Disclaimer,
paper.
going forward, whenever Joe has to verbatim quote somebody, it's definitely not verbatim. It's made up.
Okay, my bad. Sorry, I didn't know this was a serious matter.
It's not at all. But you obviously can't read.
Hey, listen, I had a couple. All right,
And he's got sunglasses on. I'm sure that doesn't help.
it's fine. It says, hello to you. Wait, hello to you all from Blighty.
At what episode did we decide Joe was the guy that reads the emails? Can someone explain to me how this happened? At some point, we said we need a dedicated email reader. I think Joe's the guy for the job.
What do you want from me? I just do what I'm told here. All right.
I'm taking all the blame on us. I'm not putting any of the blame
I
on you.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I mean, listen, I know tonight is a hiccup, but, you know. Right. I've done pretty good over, 10 years we've been doing this thing now. I've been pretty good.
I mean, you've done a job.
You've done a good job, Joe.
In an industry,
Listen.
in an industry where exact is not necessary, you're the top of the line.
You're not often. You're not often on my shit list, Bobo. But
I mean,
however you want to be
It is a
addressed.
situation where it doesn't need to be perfect, but you do a little. You take a little bit of artistic freedom when reading.
well, that's what
The general point is always there. You've never missed the general point.
That's what you
I mean,
get
hello to you all from Blighty, or hello to all of you from Blighty. It's the same general.
That's it. That's how it rolls. All right.
From the top.
From the top.
From now on, Joe's just gonna make up all email words. Like he's gonna read them and then put it back in his words.
I'm down.
Hello to you all from Blighty. Hope you are all well. Time for me to send my annual email. I would like to say I'll write some more this year, but highly unlikely to remember due to my rapidly deteriorating memory and sanity. This coincidentally seems to have been linked to listening to your podcast, so go figure. The good news is that the main themes of the podcast still remain. General chat around whose cock will you suck. Joe, normally you would be the giver, but likely any sort of receiver if required to win the Super Bowl. Steve's stats and injury roundup. A backward-looking section on who said the most outrageous thing in the past, the questioning of Kittle being one, but for the praising of Brian Hoyer by Steve is without a doubt the ultimate worst. Madison's...
I don't know. What was worse, me believing in Blaine Gabbert or me believing in Brian Hoyer? They're both up there.
Hoyer, to me, is worse. I don't know why, but...
No way, Gabbert, by far.
I think you're blinded by what
But he was
Belichick
such a
does with
great
them.
practice quarterback.
He's bald.
Gabbert?
No,
Hoyer.
Hoyer. Madison's absolutely legendary ways of delivering his voicemails. It's time for a Madison Live podcast special for bye week. Chris is
Madison.
I know. I love it. That's
And
not
Kittle, too.
Yeah, Kittle spelled like I don't even know. Chris's constant high technical support and even more marginal input. And perhaps the most joyous thing being Rob's ability to never bite or react, not sure if that carries across the pond, to a word Joe says, but Steve goes for it every time. Still listening every week. Still keeping in touch with Duffy, Aussie cunt, on the Cunts International chat. Still coming to New York, but never giving you boys a show. Still staying up till early hours of Monday morning every week to watch the boys in red and gold. Still very English. So long, all. I'm off to watch our country implode worse than yours. Brexit oblivion. Laters, Jimmy. Over in Tampa this week, so spiritually closer to you. Jimmy motherfucking Brighton, my friend.
Ricardo.
I need a time.
48.
48. All right. We'll read another email. I gotta find it. I got fucked up there. Oh boy.
It's Ricardo.
I know, but I'm
Minka gets fisted.
I'm lost. So just there it is. I see.
Hey.
It. I got it. Okay, Ricardo Aguirre. Minka gets fisted. Hey, gold-blooded crew. The 49ers are now 3-0 for the first time since 1998. Well, that was nerve-wracking to say the least. 5 turnovers, and we still won. Why? Because we are the fucking 49ers, and we drop our cocks on the foreheads of our enemies. Enemies, mind you. The defense showed up when the offense fucked up. The loss of Witherspoon sucks, but it doesn't look serious. Verrett looked rusty. I honestly expected the Steelers to get a train ran on them, but I guess they're okay. Mike Tomlin is still a cockeyed fuck nugget. Watching Jimmy sling that last clutch touchdown to Pettis brought back memories of Alex Smith to Vernon Davis in 2011 when the Niners beat the Saints in the divisional round. Really? I thought it brought back Jimmy to Dante in his first game ever, but what the fuck do I know? Divisional round. Anyways, boys, have fun with your annual bisexual competition. I mentioned in a previous email that I am from Sacramento, California. I came across your cunty podcast when one of you yahoos liked a picture of my 49er blanket.
Steve, you're a fucking machine.
I am.
Oh,
Nobody.
You blanket-loving cunt.
Nobody fucked harder on Instagram than I did back in those days.
I didn't think that it would lead me into the piss-drinking, vaginal discharge-gulping fuck city that is your podcast. Anyway, see you after the bye. Go Niners. Okay.
I'm starting to think maybe we need to get back into liking pictures on Instagram.
I agree.
Well, I don't believe...
Seems like that's where we got
I don't
everybody
believe
from.
we got listeners from all those blanket and mug likings. All right. It's should we do... This is Mark Dubard. Should we do this next time?
Yeah, we'll save it for the next one.
All right. Anything else we got to say here?
Nope.
All right, people. Fuck it. Bye.